Sis, I heard the news. You're finally marrying Nathan? Yes, but it's strange for you to suddenly contact me. You've never shown any interest in our lives before. That's because Nathan works at Harvard. Nathan isn't highly educated or anything. He just graduated from a regular state college. He happens to work at Harvard now, that's all. It's fine. If he's working at Harvard now, there's no problem. Harvard is a place for only the chosen ones. Only a handful of highly educated people can work there, so Nathan must be thousands of times smarter than your average educated man. That's a quite unique calculation. Even Harvard students might not understand it. So just give him to me. I absolutely want to marry Nathan. Don't be ridiculous. I can't deal with this nonsense anymore. I'm going back to work. Try to calm down a bit. I'm serious. If you won't give him up, I'll take him by force. Sarah, you're not making any sense. Nathan and I are engaged. We're in love. And happy together. You can't just decide that you want him and expect me to hand him over to you. But you don't understand. This is my chance to marry someone from Harvard. Don't you know how prestigious that is? I really don't think you're grasping the situation here. Nathan isn't from Harvard in the way you're thinking. He just works there. Same thing. He must be brilliant to work at such an esteemed institution. Sarah, please listen to yourself. You're talking about breaking up an engaged couple because of some misguided notion about prestige. This isn't like you. Oh, this is exactly like me. You know I've always wanted to marry someone highly educated. This is my chance. But you don't even know Nathan. You've never met him. How can you say you want to marry him? I don't need to know him. I know he works at Harvard, and that's enough for me. That's just not how relationships work, Sarah. You can't just marry someone judging by where he works. Watch me. I'm going to win Nathan over. Just you wait and see. Sarah, this conversation is over. I'm not going to put up with this ridiculous idea any longer. Fine, be that way, but don't say I didn't warn you.
I'm sorry, Emily. We need to cancel tomorrow's wedding. We need to break up right now.
Stop saying weird jokes on the day before our wedding.
I'm not joking. I'm serious. I'm calling off our wedding. I'm going to marry Sarah. No, I have to marry her. I got Sarah pregnant.
What? You mean Sarah, my sister? So you two were having an affair behind my back. You've been betraying me all this time?
Emily, you're always so serious and perfect. You never oversleep for work, and your housework is just flawless. Being with such a perfect person feels suffocating.
So that's why you had an affair with Sarah?
People are emotional creatures. Sarah understood that about me. Her imperfections and sloppiness are charming.
Being perfect at work and housework should be praised, not criticized. Moreover, that's no reason to justify an affair or to get my sister pregnant.
I know it sounds crazy, Emily. I ain't planned for any of this to happen.
How long has this been going on, Nathan? How long have you been seeing my sister behind my back?
It's only been a few weeks. Sarah reached out to me about a month ago.
A few weeks? And in that time, you managed to not only have an affair, but get her pregnant? Do you have any idea how much this hurts me?
I'm so sorry, Emily. I never meant to hurt you. It just happened.
Things like this don't just happen, Nathan. You made choices, repeated choices to betray me.
You're right. I know I've made terrible mistakes. I felt so constrained in our relationship. Sarah made me feel free.
Free? Free to what? Cheat on your fiancé? Get another woman pregnant? Is that the kind of freedom you wanted?
No, of course not. I don't know how to explain it.
Try to explain. Because right now I'm having a hard time understanding how the man I thought I knew could do something like this.
Emily, you're amazing. You're smart, beautiful, and successful. But sometimes it feels like I was living in your shadow. Like I could never measure up to you.
So instead of talking to me about your feelings, you decided to sleep with my sister? How can that be a solution?
It wasn't a solution. It was a mistake. A huge, terrible mistake.
A mistake you're now choosing to continue by marrying her.
I have to take responsibility for my actions, Emily. Sarah's pregnant with my child.
And what about your responsibility to me, to our relationship, to the promises we made to each other?
I know I've broken those promises. I'll never forgive myself for hurting you like this.
Yet here you are telling me you're leaving me for my sister. Actions speak louder than words, Nathan.
I don't blame you if you hate me, Emily. I hate myself right now.
I don't hate you, Nathan. I'm disappointed and hurt and angry. So angry.
I deserve that. All of it.
Yes, you do. But that doesn't make the situation any better. What are you going to do now? Marry Sarah and live happily ever after?
I don't know. I know I have to take responsibility for the baby. But beyond that, I'm lost.
Well, you better figure it out quickly because you've just turned 3 lives upside down with your actions.
I know. So sorry, Emily. I wish I could take it all back.
But you can't. What's done is done, and now we all have to live with the consequences. Sis, you said Nathan works at the university, right? The only job at a university must be a professor, right? No, there are plenty of other jobs, like administrative staff or janitors. In Nathan's case, he's a professor's secretary. His job is to handle miscellaneous tasks for the professor he's assigned to. He doesn't do any research or professor-like work, so unfortunately, he won't be winning any Nobel Prizes. Huh? But being a secretary means the professor favors him, right? He must have been hired because he's brilliant. It's like preparation for eventually becoming a professor, right? Not at all. He's really just an ordinary secretary. His job involves checking emails, managing schedules, and making coffee. It's no different from any other regular secretary job. They even hire for these positions without considering educational background. Is that so? I thought university professors easily made around $100,000 a year. As a regular secretary, or rather administrative staff, he takes home about $20,000. The benefits are great, but the job is simple, there's no promotion, and that's about it. What? That's totally different from the income I was expecting. From your reaction, I guess you don't know how Nathan became a professor's secretary either. Huh? Did he just start this job recently? He started last year. Nathan was having trouble with interpersonal relationships at his previous job. Even after he finally managed to quit, he struggled to find a new job. That's when I introduced him to this professor's secretary position. I have a friend who's an assistant professor at Harvard, and she said they were looking for a secretary at her university, so I introduced Nathan. Oh, by the way, is this friend a woman? Yes, she's a woman, but she has a boyfriend she's very close with, so it's pointless to try to switch to her. Also, the professor's secretary position is renewed annually with a maximum term of 3 years. It's not a stable job, so you should think carefully about that. No way! You said he started last year, right? So after next year's renewal, he'll be unemployed? What's going on? Apparently they change people in short cycles for confidentiality reasons. That's terrible! I'm carrying Nathan's child and I'm due to give birth in a few months, but his income is low and he's guaranteed to be unemployed next year? What should I do? Well, that's not my problem. Isn't this the man you wanted to marry so badly that you stole him from me? That's because I thought he was a university professor. I never would have thought he was just an ordinary guy. Well, it's your fault for making convenient assumptions. Well then, I hope you and Nathan will be very happy together. No way. I want to call off this marriage with him right now. There are only disadvantages to this marriage. Sarah, you can't just decide to call off the marriage because you found out that Nathan isn't as prestigious or wealthy as you thought he was. You're pregnant with his child. But this isn't what I signed up for. I thought I was getting a Harvard professor, not a secretary. You didn't sign up for anything. You chose to have an affair with my fiancé and got pregnant. These are the consequences of your actions. But it's not fair. I was misled. No, you weren't misled. You made assumptions and didn't bother to verify them. That's on you. Can't you help me get out of this situation, sis? You know people at Harvard, right? Can't you get Nathan a better job? Are you serious right now? You steal my fiancé, ruin my relationship, and now you want me to help you out? That is beyond audacious, Sarah. But you're my sister. You're supposed to help me. I'm also the person whose heart you broke, the person whose trust you betrayed. You can't expect me to just forget that and help you now. What am I supposed to do then? I can't marry a man with such a low income. Maybe you should have thought about that before you got involved with him. Or better yet, before you decided that a person's worth is determined by their job title or income. That's easy for you to say. You have a good job. You don't have to worry about these things. I have a good job because I worked hard for it. I didn't try to marry my way into success. That's not fair. You know I've always wanted to marry and live a successful life. And look where that got you. Pregnant, unmarried, and panicking because the man who you thought was your meal ticket turns out to be an ordinary guy. Don't be so harsh, Emily. I'm in a difficult situation here. A situation you entirely made by yourself. You chose to pursue Nathan. You chose to have an affair with him. You chose to get pregnant. These were all your choices, Sarah. I know, but what do I do now? That's for you to figure out. You're an adult, Sarah. It's time you started acting like one. But I don't know how to handle this. I'm not prepared to be a single mother. Then maybe you should talk to Nathan about this. He's the father of your child, after all. But he's just a secretary. How can he support a family? Plenty of people with similar jobs support families, Sarah. It might not be the luxurious lifestyle you imagined, but it's possible. I can't live like that, Emily. I just can't. Then you have some serious thinking to do about your future and the future of your child. What should I do? I was too late. Nathan went ahead and submitted our marriage registration without my consent. What did you say? I was going to contact Nathan to call off the marriage, but he told me he had just submitted the marriage registration. He said he thought the sooner the better because of the baby. Oh, so you want to get divorced right away? I don't care if I become a divorcee. I want a divorce. You can divorce if you want, but can you raise a child alone? Of course, that's impossible. I'm just a part-timer. I've been living with my parents, prioritizing finding my future husband. I see. I didn't know that because I haven't been back home in years. If I get divorced, I can get child support from him, right? If I can maintain my current lifestyle with that, maybe I'll be okay. I wouldn't count on that. With his income, child support would be meager. Plus, if he becomes unemployed, you might not get any payments at all. And do you think our parents will be eager to help you with a child you had by stealing your sister's fiancé? In that case, you have to take responsibility, sis. Emily, you should pay me $1,000 a month for child support instead. Excuse me? If you had told me everything from the beginning, I wouldn't have stolen him. It's your fault for making me misunderstand. You made me and my unborn child unhappy, so take responsibility for it. Don't be ridiculous. You should take responsibility for what you did to me first. My wedding was ruined because of you. If you keep saying such absurd things, I'll sue you for damages. What? But if you promise never to involve me again, I'll forgive you. The baby is innocent after all. Use that money to raise the child. But... By the way, I've already told our parents about everything. What? They were both stunned and then immediately furious. They said they won't acknowledge your marriage or the child. They're going to kick you out of the house right away. Really? If I'm kicked out of the house, I'll have nowhere to go. I guess I have no choice but to continue this married life with Nathan. That's right. Well, goodbye then. Wait, Emily! You can't just leave me like this. There has to be something you can do. Sarah, I've already told you this is your mess to clean up. I'm not getting involved anymore. But I'm your sister. How can you abandon me when I'm in such a difficult situation? You didn't seem to care about our sisterly bond when you were having an affair with my fiancé. Why should I care about it now? That's different. I made a mistake and I admit it, but please, I need your help. And what exactly do you want me to do? Pay your bills, raise your child, fix your marriage? I don't know. Something. Anything. You've always been the smart one, the responsible one. You must know what to do. What I know is that actions have consequences, Sarah. You made a series of poor choices, and now you're facing the results of those choices. But it's not fair. I didn't know Nathan wasn't a professor. I didn't know he didn't make much money. If I had known... If you had known what? You wouldn't have slept with him? You wouldn't have gotten pregnant? You should never have pursued him in the first place, Sarah. He was my fiancé. I know. I'm sorry about that. I really am. But what's done is done. Can't you forgive me and help me now? Forgiveness isn't something you can demand, Sarah. It's earned. And so far, all I've seen from you is selfishness and a refusal to take responsibility for your actions. That's not true. I am taking responsibility. That's why I want to divorce Nathan. How is that taking responsibility? You're trying to run away from the consequences of your actions. That's the opposite of responsibility. But I can't be married to him. He's not who I thought he was. And whose fault is that? You pursued him based on assumptions you made about his job and income. You never bothered to get to know him as a person. I know that now, but it's too late to change what happened. I need to figure out what to do next. Yes, you do, and that's something you need to do all on your own. But I don't know how. I've never had to deal with something like this before. Welcome to adulthood, Sarah. Sometimes we have to deal with difficult situations we've never faced before. Can't you at least give me some advice? You've always been good at solving problems. Fine, here's my advice. Talk to Nathan. Be honest with him about your feelings and concerns. Discuss your options together. After all, he's the father of your child and your husband now. But what if he gets angry? What if he leaves me? Then that's something you'll have to deal with. But remember, Nathan chose to marry you knowing you were pregnant. He seems to want to take responsibility. I guess you're right, but I'm scared, Emily. I don't know if I can do this. You don't have much of a choice now, do you? You're going to be a mother soon. It's time to start thinking about someone other than yourself. I know, it's just everything's happening so fast. 1 minute I thought I was marrying a Harvard professor, and now you're married to a hardworking man who's trying to do right for you and your child. Maybe if you stopped focusing on what Nathan isn't, you might see what he is. What do you mean? Nathan may not be a professor or rich, but he's dependable. He's taking responsibility for his actions. That's more than can be said for a lot of men in his situation. I hadn't thought about it that way. Of course you hadn't. You've been too busy feeling sorry for yourself. That's not fair, Emily. Isn't it? From where I'm standing, you've done nothing but complain about how this situation affects you. Have you even thought about how Nathan feels, or how your child will feel growing up in a home where their mother resents their father? I don't resent Nathan. I'm disappointed. Disappointed in what? That he's not wealthy, that he's not as prestigious as you thought? Are those really the most important qualities in a husband and father? I don't know. I always thought they were, but now I'm not so sure. Maybe it's time you reevaluate your priorities, Sarah. For your sake, for Nathan's sake, and especially for your child's sake. You're right. I need to think about this. But, Emily, what about you? Can you ever forgive me for what I did? I don't know, Sarah. What you did, it hurt me deeply. It's not something I can just forget or get over quickly. I understand. I really am sorry, I never meant to hurt you. But you did hurt me. You betrayed me in one of the worst ways possible. And the fact that you did it for such a shallow reason makes it even worse. I know. I was stupid and selfish. I see that now. Seeing it is one thing, Sarah. Learning from it and changing your behavior is another. You have a lot of growing up to do. I want to change, Emily. I really do. I want to be a good mother to my child. And I want to try to be a good wife to Nathan. That's a start, but remember, wanting to change and actually changing are two different things. It's going to take a lot of work and effort on your part. I'm willing to try, but I'm scared, Emily. What if I'm not good enough? What if I fail? Then you pick yourself up and try again. That's what adults do, Sarah. We face our challenges head on even when we're scared. Will you help me? I know I don't deserve it after what I did, but I could really use my big sister right now. I can't make any promises, Sarah. You've hurt me deeply, and it's going to take time for me to process that, but I'll think about it. In the meantime, focus on your marriage and preparing for your baby. Thank you, Emily. Even that means a lot to me. Well, don't thank me yet. You have a long road ahead of you, Sarah. It's not going to be easy. I know, but I'm going to try. For my baby, for Nathan, and for myself. Good. That's the first mature thing I've heard you say in this whole conversation. Emily, I really am sorry for everything. I know you are, Sarah, but like I said, it's going to take time. Now, I think you need to go home and talk to your husband. You're right, I will. And Emily, thank you for talking to me, even after everything I did. You're still my sister, Sarah, no matter how angry I am at you. Now, go on. You have a lot to think about and a lot to do.
Please, Emily, can't we get back together after all? I'll break up with Sarah right away.
What? What's going on? You're newlyweds, and she's carrying your child.
Yes, but I just can't continue this married life. I'm giving up after just one day. I can't live with such a violent woman anymore.
Huh? Violent woman? What do you mean?
Yesterday, Sarah came to my house. She said she was kicked out of her home and had nowhere to go. She demanded that I take responsibility and make her and the baby happy. She said we had no choice but to create a warm family together.
Well, it's good that she made up her mind, but how is that violent?
Her emotions are out of control. An hour later, she suddenly said she didn't want to get married after all. She wanted to break up. She accused me of marriage fraud, shouting, "How dare you deceive me!" She started throwing things around the house and causing a scene.
My, that does sound quite challenging.
Then 30 minutes later, she was crying and apologizing for her outburst. Just when I thought she had calmed down, she started raging again. The cycle kept repeating. I'm a wreck after just one night. I want to divorce this woman.
So that's why you want to get back together with me? I'm afraid I'll have to decline.
Then at least take Sarah back with you. If she has another outburst, my house won't survive.
That's not my problem. If she acts up again, why don't you just call the police?
It's absolutely impossible. The dean lives on the top floor of my apartment building.
Oh, really?
I found out by chance the other day. If I call the police and our situation gets exposed, I might be fired immediately for causing trouble in my private life that required police intervention.
I don't think they'd mix personal and professional matters like that, but it might leave a bad impression.
Since my job is renewed annually, if it's not renewed because of this, I'll be unemployed next year. Thinking about that, I can't call the police. So please, Emily, can you do something about this?
No way, I'm not your fiancé anymore. I'm just a stranger now.
But...
Sarah's outbursts will probably settle down eventually. She's pregnant, so her hormones might be unbalanced. If you support her properly, I'm sure she'll calm down. So do your best as her husband.
You can't be serious. You really won't help me?
Nathan, you made your choice when you decided to have an affair with my sister. You can't just come running back to me when things get tough.
I know I made a mistake, Emily. A huge mistake. But I didn't know Sarah would be like this. She seemed so different when we were... you know...
When you were having an affair behind my back? Yes, I'm sure she seemed different then. People often do when they're not dealing with the consequences of their actions.
I'm sorry, Emily. I really am. I never meant for any of this to happen.
But it did happen, Nathan. You chose to cheat on me with my sister. You chose to get her pregnant. You chose to marry her. These were all your decisions.
I know, and I regret them all. If I could take it back.
But you can't. That's the thing about choices, Nathan. Once you make them, you have to live with the consequences.
But what am I supposed to do now? Sarah's out of control. I can't live like this.
Have you tried talking to her? Really talking to her, not just reacting to her outbursts.
Talk to her? How can I talk to someone who goes from throwing things, to crying, to screaming, all in the span of an hour?
Sarah's emotional and is probably scared. She's pregnant, newly married, and her whole life has changed in a matter of weeks. That doesn't excuse her behavior, but it might explain it.
So what should I do?
Be patient, be kind, try to understand what she's going through. And most importantly, take responsibility for your part in this situation.
But it's so hard. I don't know if I can do it.
You have to, Nathan. You're going to be a father soon. It's time to step up and be the man your child needs you to be.
I don't know how to be a father. I'm not ready for this.
Nobody is ever really ready to be a parent, Nathan, but millions of people figure it out every day. You will too.
I wish I had never cheated on you, Emily. You're always so steady, so reliable.
Wishing won't change anything, Nathan. You made your choices, now you have to live with them.
Can't you give me another chance? We were good together, weren't we?
We were, but that's in the past now. You're married to my sister and about to have a child with her. That's your reality now.
But I don't love her. I thought I did, but now? Not so sure.
Love isn't just a feeling, Nathan. It's a choice, a commitment. You chose Sarah. Now you need to commit to making that choice work.
Even if she's violent? Even if she makes me miserable?
If Sarah is truly being violent, then that's a serious issue that needs to be addressed. But from what you've described, it sounds more like she's having emotional outbursts. That's not okay, but it's not the same as being violent.
So what should I do?
Talk to her, set boundaries, seek counseling if you need to, but don't just run away from your problems.
I don't know if I can do this, Emily. I'm not strong like you.
You're stronger than you think, Nathan. You just need to find that strength within yourself.
Will you help me? Please, Emily. I know I don't deserve it, but I need your help.
I can't help you the way you want me to, Nathan. I can't take you back or solve your problems for you. But I can give you some advice. Be patient, be kind, be understanding, and above all, be responsible.
That's it? That's all the help you'll give me?
That's all the help you need, Nathan. The rest is up to you.
I see. I understand. Thank you, Emily, for everything.
You're welcome, Nathan. Now go home to your wife. She needs you right now, whether you believe it or not.
You're right, and I will. And Emily, I really am sorry for everything.
I know you are, Nathan, but sorry doesn't fix what's broken. Actions do. Remember that.
I will. Goodbye, Emily.
Goodbye, Nathan. Take care of yourself, and take care of Sarah and your baby. Sarah continued her unreasonable outbursts until finally the neighbors called the police. Nathan explained the situation to the police, and they determined there was no criminal case, so they left quickly. However, the dean witnessed the entire scene. The next day, Nathan was immediately summoned, and the dean said, "Recently, the media has been keeping a close eye on university scandals. We can't afford to have staff members who might attract tabloid attention." And with that, Nathan was told his contract would end this year. As for my sister Sarah, she's still the same. One moment she wants a divorce, and the next she can't divorce because the child support wouldn't be enough. She demands to be made happy. Her emotional instability and outbursts continue. Finally, Nathan snapped too. Now they're known as the infamous brawling couple, and with the police being called to their home every day.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
Please help, Mom. Can you please allow us to come and stay at your house for a little while? Right now, we are in a bit of a financial pinch.
Huh? Axel? What kind of pinch have you gotten yourselves into that you need to be coming to me for?
Well, to be honest with you, recently I want to change jobs, right? And well, this new job is actually paying me a lot less than my previous one. Which, I know, it is a bit strange and all that, but I told you before that the benefits are better.
I think you told me you're going to this place to take more time off work, or have the ability to at least, right? Wasn't it something about how you could take time off work because your wife is working a great job and her income would be able to support you two for a little bit now? And you followed that up with saying you both have good savings, so you didn't have to worry about being off work.
And that's the way things should have been, but, well, Trina ended up quitting her job without asking me about it first.
What? Trina did that? Why would she do something like that? Was there something wrong with the company she'd been working at?
It's not that there was something wrong there. She just had the wrong idea of things and accidentally quit.
Huh? Wrong idea of things?
She assumed that since I was moving to a different job, my pay would be better there. So she thought that with me getting a new job, I was also being paid another couple grand or so every year. So she believed that this was her chance to finally become the housewife she's always dreamed of becoming.
What's up with that?
She's always told me about how much she wanted to stay at home, but I've only ever been making base pay at my job, so that was never possible for her. So she must have thought that the reason I was changing jobs was to get a better salary for her to be able to leave her job.
That's just terrible!
And actually, for the longest time now, I left her in charge of handling payments on the house and for food. So when I took a look at our savings, there was nothing in there. We haven't had anything in our accounts for months now, I think.
You don't even have a penny in your savings account? You're joking, right? You both have been working jobs and don't even have kids, yet there's no money in your savings account? There's really nothing in there?
We have both done a terrible job at holding on to our money. I have tried my best not to overspend on things, but maybe somewhere along the way I went a little overboard? I'm sure it has something to do with me not checking my bank accounts enough. I hate this!
Not checking your bank accounts?
Just know that right now, I don't make as much as I used to, and Trina is without a job. And since we have no savings, we can't afford to live here anymore. So please, Mom, can you let the two of us come and live with you just until we have enough money to move out again?
Well, if this is all that's happened to you, I have no other choice. Your room is still open in this house, so the two of you come back here and stay as long as you need. I'm your mom, after all, so I'll do what I can to help.
Thank you. We'll get all of our things together then, and move back to your place. I'm so sorry if this is causing you any trouble, Mom.
Hey! Trina, what the hell is this? Why have you asked for a remodeling company to come into my house without asking me first?
I don't like living in an old house like this one, so I'm thinking of having them take out the old wooden flooring and add in some soft, fresh carpeting. Why are you sending all of those men away now? I just had to go all the way to their company and say sorry to all of them for what you've done. It's all your fault, Dorothy, for being so selfish about this house.
Huh? What do you mean I'm being selfish about my house? This is my house, Trina. You are not supposed to be asking for someone to come in and remodel someone else's house.
What are you talking about? Starting today, the house is supposed to be our house.
What?
How long did you think you could keep acting like this place is only your house for? Stop trying to be a selfish old grandma about this old place that we're all living in now.
Hold on a second, Trina. What are you trying to say right now? This is still my house right now. You guys were having some financial troubles before this, so I was being kind and letting the two of you stay here until you got back on your feet.
What was that? Oh my. I believe you've started to have signs of dementia now, Dorothy. Oh, believing something like that to be true?
Huh? Believing what?
This is your son Axel's house now. When your husband had passed away, he planned on giving this house to your son. But your son is such a nice man that he decided to let you stay in the house since you aren't making any money anymore. However, it looks to me like you didn't get the memo and think that this place has always been yours.
Trina, all of this about my husband giving Axel the house and allowing me to stay in it, did Axel tell you all of this?
He would never tell me all the small details about your husband's will and all of that, right? But normally the deceased man's house is always given to his son. And Axel is the only son of your household, right? So after your husband passed away, it's only natural that he gave this house to Axel and wanted him to live here.
In other words, that's what you've led yourself to believe?
You're the only one that's led yourself to believing lies. That house isn't even yours, yet you think that it is and keep telling everyone that with confidence. I don't want you forgetting this time that we're the ones allowing you to stay here, not the other way around. And from today, we, the ones who own the house, are going to start living in it again.
What should I do about this? You seem to not want to listen to me.
The next time I have people over to remodel the house, you'd better not tell them to leave. If you do, I will not forgive you, okay? Allow me to make this place as perfect as I can for myself so I can actually enjoy living here. This house is under Axel's name after all, and as his wife, that makes this place mine as well.
Hello? Why is the front door locked now? Hurry up and let me back into the house.
Nope, you're not coming back into this house. I have had it up to here with you, Dorothy. And so I'm having you moved out of this house today. I'll be throwing all your things out of the house one by one, so grab them all and leave.
I'm not messing around anymore, Trina.
Why do I have to be the one to leave my own house at the will of you? Stop all of that, you old goof. This place is not your house, and you need to stop believing in all those lies you led yourself into believing. This is the house that your son was given when his father died. In other words, it's both his and my house. Yet, because of his crappy old mother, I'm not able to get any contractors in here to start remodeling the place. Huh? Anytime I've asked them to come in and tear out the flooring or repaint the walls, you tell them to stop what they're doing and get out. I'm really starting to believe that you have something out for me, and that's why you're not letting me have my way in my house. So I've had enough of this BS where I have to let my stupid mother-in-law live with me. Why are you trying to act like the victim here? You're the one that's trying to break apart my beautiful home. I'm allowed to stop you from doing that to my home, so that's what you're witnessing. Now, will you stop acting like a complete buffoon and leave my house be? You are the worst. I really want them to come in and tear up this house so that I can have a gorgeous new home. I've finally become a housewife and everything and need a wonderful home to complement me. I want a house where I can sit at home all day and do nothing. Huh? Wait a second. Trina, you think you're still allowed to be a housewife right now? Aren't you aware that the money Axel is making now is less than what he was bringing in before? Well, if he's not making as much as before, he just needs to work harder to get it back up. He should just work more every week to make up for that loss, right? What? You understand the reason why Axel changed jobs in the first place, right? Before, he wasn't able to get any time off at the previous company and had to work all the time. At certain points, he was working 60-hour work weeks. So that's why he left that place and joined a new company that allowed him to take some time off. Why would he go to a new company allowing him to work less just to have to start working more hours again? There's no reasoning in that. But I don't want to work anymore. I didn't get the wrong idea of anything. Rather, I just got tired of working. And now that I'm a housewife, finally, I am not giving it up. What? Ever since I was a little girl, I've always dreamed of the day I could become a housewife. I wanted to become a wife who could wait all day in her cozy home for her husband to get home. And now that that dream has come true for me, I'm not going back to work. Yet now that you're home all day, you still don't do any of the chores for him. Well, that's because I hate doing chores. That's why I'm not going to put too much effort into the place. I'm going to have a beautiful house to lay in all day as I wait for my husband to return home. Excuse me? But as long as you're in this house, that dream will not come true. You keep acting like this is your house due to you becoming senile or something, right? And you keep kicking out all the contractors I asked to come in, causing me a real headache. So I can no longer allow you to get in my way anymore. You senile old geezer need to get out of my house.
We're the ones that are getting kicked out of this house.
Huh?
I got a call from my mom. If she came back home from work to be here? What the hell is going on here? Who the hell do you think you are, saying something like that to my mom, asking her to leave her house?
You're asking me who I think I am? I'm the wife who owns this house with you. Who does she think she is? She says that this house is supposed to be hers, even though it's meant for you and me. You were the one that got this house from your dad in his will. So go and tell her to get out of this house if she's going to act this way towards us.
You stop all of that right now. How many times do I have to explain this to you before you understand what's going on? This house is the place that Mom got from Dad in his will. The land and the house, all of it are hers now. Her name is on all of it if you'd like to look that up.
What?
Right now, we should be on our hands and knees thanking her for allowing us to stay here. Yet, it's only been a few days since we moved in here, and you're already asking for trouble from her. Well, I'm not going to let you cause any more trouble. We are going to hurry up and get all our things together and get out of this house.
Wait, hold on a minute. What? Axel? What are you even talking about? You don't have to keep acting all nice towards your mother like that. You are the one and only son of this family, and this is your house, right? When your father was passing away, he gave this house to you, right?
I'm asking you to please tell me what's made you think that. Are you trying to tell me that where you're from, that's the normal thing that happens? Well, even if it is, I'm sorry, but my dad didn't leave me anything in his will. He didn't give me the house, or the land, or even the money. Instead, asking that it go all to his wife.
Huh?
That's why I'm not sure how many more times I'll have to say this, but it's all my mom's. I had to ask her with every bit of my soul to allow us to come back and live here with her.
Huh? Is that right? I just assumed that you were being a really nice son to make sure that she had a place to live and all that. And that's why this time I wanted her out of the house for being such a jerk. I just thought that every time she told me she was the owner of this house, she was lying to me.
I'm getting tired of you trying to act like this is our house and that she's the one lying. You already started this whole process off with a bad step, as you thought me changing jobs just meant my salary would increase. And so instead of talking with me first about it, you just left your job at that company. And now your next step is trying to kick my mom out of her own house because you think it's yours?
What the heck? It's not my fault that I had the wrong idea about all of this. They always talk about this stuff online and on the news, right? Saying for people to change their jobs for better pay and all that. I didn't think that you going to a different job would mean you'd make less money per month.
I told you about that so many times though. I said that my new job would pay me less and we might have to make do with that in some way. But as a result of that, I'd get more time off work and would be able to spend more time with you. Did you listen to a dang word I was telling you all those times?
Well...
You didn't listen to crap, right? You heard me say I was getting a new job and that in your head translated to you being a housewife and being able to relax all the time. You don't want to work anymore and just want to spend all day sitting around at home. You've always been talking about that, right? I'm going to open the lock to the front door right now, and when I'm inside, both you and I are packing up our things and leaving. Before you cause any more problems for my mom, I'm going to have the two of us leave her place.
I don't want to leave, though. I am not leaving this house, whether you want me to or not. I'll open up the door for you, but I will not be leaving this house.
Excuse me?
Listen, I've already bragged to everyone about this house now. And I told them all that because you found a new job, I can finally be a housewife. And I even bragged about how we would be remodeling your whole house to make it more cozy for me. I am not going to turn around and have to tell all of them that we had to leave this place.
I'm surprised to see that you think you're in the place to talk to me like that. It's all because of you that we're being kicked out.
Even if that's the case, it's impossible for me to leave now. Also, it's not just that I bragged to everyone about it. I already signed that contract having the company come in to remodel the place. Having the whole place remodeled will cost $150,000. And I've already paid over $15,000 in advance.
What?
That's why I'm telling you that leaving this house is not possible. If I leave right now, that $15,000 will vanish. And I don't even have any savings, so I was planning to pay it off with some loans.
Hey. Hold on a second. To think that you've gone this far off the rails.
I thought that having a beautiful new home for us would make you happy as well, right? That's why I already started with signing that contract and everything for us. You and I can still live here, and we can get your mom to forgive me. Then everything can go back to normal, right?
I am so far gone now from all the crap that you've just told me that I don't even want to talk to you anymore. Mom and I will go find a hotel somewhere and stay the night there. When all of us have calmed down a bit, we could start from square one again.
It's been a little bit now, Trina. Have you calmed down a little now? Dorothy! I'm so sorry for having the wrong idea about everything this whole time. I will apologize to you for everything that's happened. So please, don't kick me out of the house. If you do that, then the $15,000 I handed over will go to waste. And all of the things I've told my friends will be lies.
Calm down, Trina. I've understood everything that's gone on here and taken some time to think about it. I think I've had enough, and will give you that house now.
What?
And then I'll leave that house like you've been asking me. That should make you happy, right?
Are you for real? You're going to give the house to us now?
Well, you told us that you'd never leave the house, right? And I understand not wanting to waste all the money you've already put into the place. At this point, the only option for me is to leave the house.
Thank you so much, Dorothy. You seem to understand me a lot more than I first thought you would. Once we have the house completely remodeled, you can come over to hang out with us anytime you want.
I don't think I will. I've planned on moving somewhere far away, so it'd take me some time to come to you.
Where are you planning on moving to now? You seem like the kind of woman that would love to move to the countryside and live the rest of your life stress-free.
That's right. I'll be going out to your parents' house to live there. I'll be out in the countryside there, and they said they'd look after me from now on.
Huh? You'll be moving out to my parents' house?
I feel like me talking to you about the reason for this would never get through that thick skull of yours. Actually, just yesterday I was over with your parents talking to them. I told them that their daughter had stolen my house from me, and then asked them how they'd repay me for that.
What did you say?
Your parents were left speechless when I brought that up to them, but they were mature enough to get on their hands and knees and apologize to me. I'm so sorry about my stupid daughter, is what your dad told me. And then they told me I'd be allowed to live with them. What a great idea from the both of them. They said they'd throw all your things out of your old room and have me move into it.
Huh?
And on top of all that, they'll be treating me like the house is a bed and breakfast. I also told them that while you were staying in my house, you never did any chores or anything to help out. So in exchange for that, they'll be doing all the chores for me as another way of apologizing for that. They said they'd be taking responsibility for everything you had done to me.
You're lying, right?
You really did nothing for me while in my house. Things like your laundry, cleaning your room, and cooking for you. You asked me to do all of it. And each time you told me to do it for you, you said you'd handle it the next time. Like those days where I would make dinner for you, but you'd say that you weren't in the mood for meat or fish and tell me to make you something else. Do you want me to start saying things like that to your parents for you?
That's all crap, right? Wait, you're going way too far with this. I'm not playing games anymore, you old geezer hag.
Oh?
Getting my parents involved in all of this is just not okay. And the fact that they took apart my room in that house for you to stay? Asking them to take care of you like you're one of their kids?
I love that you're telling me not to do something like this after doing the exact same thing at my house. You asked for me to do everything for you when I was already giving you a roof to sleep under. And when you had enough of me, forced me out of the house because you thought it was all yours to keep.
Well, that was...
You can go ahead and keep that house to yourself now. Go ahead and remodel it all you want. But I'm going to do the same to your parents' house now. I'm going to act like a spoiled brat, just like you, and have it all my way here. I'll even make sure to have contractors in here next week to start working on remodeling the place.
Shut the hell up! And stop all of that!
Then can you shut the hell up and leave my house? Telling me that you hate having the tables turned on yourself like this. Did you never learn in school not to do things you dislike to others?
What should I do? My parents are starting to blow up my phone with messages. My parents are both very strict about how they handle things. They are definitely going to be furious with me this time.
That's right, and I'm just as furious as they are. I might look as though I'm calm right now, but deep inside me, there is a fire burning and it's going to overflow really soon.
It's not my fault that all of this is happening.
I told your parents they raised a really great girl. Quitting her job without talking to her husband about it first and not being good at any kinds of chores. And that you've never saved any of your earned money. You can't do any chores, nor do you want to, and your dream is to become a housewife? I told them that your dream has come true. And when I did that, they both blew up.
You've only gone and made them more upset with me. My parents are going to never let this go now. Ugh, what should I be doing here? They just told me they're coming here today to see me? I can tell right now they will both drag me back to their place with them. Then how about today we all go and meet up at my house? I want to get all my things together in order to move into your parents' house. Make sure to leave the door unlocked for all of us. Now, I'll be seeing you very soon. After that, Trina's parents went into my house and her mother laid a great punch on her daughter's face before her and her husband dragged her back to their house. And for the time being, they will both be retraining their daughter to become a proper adult. According to the rumors, she was forced to start working for a family member's company. And she'll be working there until she's made the $15,000 she needs to pay off the contractors. And that company she's now a part of happens to be a remodeling company, where she can work hours upon hours remodeling other houses the way she had always dreamed of having done for herself. And while that's all been happening, my son has been putting in a lot of work in his new company, trying to make enough money to move on with things. He's already started talking to me about how he wants to divorce Trina, and that's why he needs all the money he can get to move out of my house and leave here. No matter how well she is retrained into being a good person, she will have no place back in this family ever again. And when it comes to her dreams of being a housewife, well, she can just kiss all of them goodbye because there is no way she'll ever be able to make that dream come true after her parents have finished their work on her.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
Oh, Tiffany, are you there? I just wanted to say thanks again for all that you're doing. I really appreciate you letting me stay with you. Thanks.
Sorry, you're coming to stay with me? What are you talking about? I don't remember talking about this ever.
Well, you know how I'm trying to study so that I can go to law school, right? Well, I just can't study at all living with my parents, so I realized that I need a new place to go where I'll be able to concentrate. So I asked my mom about where she thought I should go, and she told me about how Chris was going away on a business trip. So I figured that since you would have the space for me without my brother there, that I could move in.
Okay, hold on just a second there, Carly. Yes, it is true that Chris is away on a long business trip, but I don't get why you have to move all the way over here just to study. I mean, you're not even in law school yet, right?
Well, yeah, but the law schools I want to go to are around where you live in New York. So I figure I might as well start getting used to living up there. And then once I finish taking the LSATs, I can just move all my things right into the school. Isn't that great?
Look, Carly, I really want to help you in whatever way I can, but I just don't think this is the way to go about doing this. Besides, I would have to talk to Chris about this first.
So you're going to tell me that you want to help me any way that you can, but then refuse to help me? And I don't get why you would have to go and ask my brother. Of course he would approve of this. You shouldn't even bother asking him. I already know the answer he'd give anyways. That's why I'm on my way to your place right now.
Hold on a second. You're already on your way here, but I haven't even said yes. This is the first that we're talking about this.
I know, but the date for the LSATs are coming up, and I've already registered to take them in New York. So once I move in, I am going to be really busy studying.
But Carly, I'm sorry. This is just all so sudden, and I don't think I can approve of this.
What are you talking about? Why are you being such a stick in the mud about this? I mean, you're just a housewife who isn't really doing anything anyways, right? So since your husband is away, I can take his place and you can take care of me, right?
You really expect me to be taking care of you while you're away? You can't be serious.
Thank you so much. So just a heads up, every morning for breakfast, I would like to have a smoothie with fresh fruit. Then I want you to keep lunch light for me since I like to have naps in the afternoon. But make sure that you make something with things that are good for your brain for dinner since that's when I'm going to be doing most of my studying. And I also want you to keep your place well stocked with lots of snacks.
Are you seriously telling me that you want me to cook 3 meals a day for you? And on top of all that, you really want me to bring snacks to you as well?
Why are you acting as if that's a big deal? You're a housewife. All you do is cook anyways, right? Besides, I'm going to be a lawyer one day, so I think that it would be best to help me when I need it or stay on my good side, you know? Hold on a second. Let me guess. Next, you're going to tell me that in addition to cooking for you, I'm also going to have to do the laundry and all the cleaning too, right? Well, duh, I'm going to be busy studying all day, so you need to be taking care of all that kind of work. I'll basically just leave it all to you while I hit the books. I don't even know what to say to that. Do you really think that you can just live here and have me do everything to take care of you? What are you going to contribute in terms of rent? Are you at least going to help with the bills while you're here? Whoa, what? What kind of way is that to talk to family? Here I am humbly asking for a little help from you, and you're telling me that you won't unless I cough up some money? Do you not want me to go to school? Do you not want me to follow my dreams of being a lawyer? Because law school isn't cheap, and I have to save money everywhere that I can. Are you kidding me? Is that really the best that you can come up with? Anyways, like I said, I'm already on the way over to your place right now. And just remember that whether or not I succeed at this is riding entirely on you. So make sure you do a good job of being there for me.
Hey Tiff, you there? I'm so sorry for not getting back to you yesterday. I was just so crazy busy and I'm only checking my phone right now. So did Carly really end up coming to our place?
She did. She arrived late last night and I couldn't believe it. Now she's treating our place just like she owns it or something. It's just ridiculous.
Wow, I can't believe that she's actually doing this.
So I take that means you also had no idea that she was going to pull something like this?
I had no idea that this was going to happen at all until I saw your messages that you'd sent me. And then there was just one message from Carly telling me that she was going to be using my office.
So she did tell you something?
Kind of. I tried to respond and ask her what she meant, but she just left me on red and never responded to me. I had no idea what she was talking about, and I certainly didn't think she was going to go this far.
I know, right? It's like, what is she thinking doing this?
Well, I talked to my parents, and they filled me in a little more about what was going on. I guess that Carly wasn't making any progress on moving out or finding any work, besides the part-time job that she already had. Then all of a sudden, she started talking about wanting to become a lawyer. My parents think it's because she's been really into this lawyer show, and that's the only reason she's acting this way.
Well, I think it's fine to have ambition and want to pursue a challenging goal. But didn't your sister drop out of community college? Because, no offense to her, but I think the LSAT is supposed to be quite challenging, and I think you're supposed to have at least a bachelor's before starting a law program anyways.
So then you really think that she came to our house to try and study for the test? Because I really wonder if she's actually studying for it at all. Yeah, not only that, but I hear that for some of the schools she's talked about wanting to go to, that she'll have to get a really high score.
And you're telling me that you don't think she's going to be able to make the cut for that?
From what I was reading, these schools only take the cream of the crop, but I guess that Carly must be really confident in herself. I guess there's still about 6 months before the tests are held, but does that mean that she's really going to just keep living with us until then?
Hold on a second, the LSATs aren't for another 6 months? I was prepared to put up with Carly for maybe about a month or so, but she can't stay with us for 6 months. Especially if she's expecting me to act like her maid. Did you know she wants me to cook all her meals and do her laundry for her?
Oh, she really gets too carried away sometimes. I just have no idea what she's thinking. But I think you should try and throw her out. I would help if I could, but I certainly don't want her touching any of my stuff.
Well, unfortunately, I think that is much easier said than done.
But she can't just squat at our house if we don't want her there. Doesn't she realise that?
Actually, you know what? I think it's great that Carly is chasing her dreams like this. Maybe we should give her some credit and support her through this. And I think it'd be fine if she uses your office as her bedroom. At least that way we can keep our room clean. You do want to support your sister, don't you?
Well, of course I want to, but are you really sure about this? I didn't even think that you were much of a fan of Carly to begin with.
Well, it's only for 6 months, right? And as long as Carly actually studies during that time, then you and I might end up with a lawyer we can count on.
I guess that's true, yeah. And if she managed to get a job, I know it'd make my parents really happy.
Great, then it's settled. And this works for me since I was starting to get lonely without anyone to talk to since you left.
Wow, well, okay. That's great. I can talk to my parents about this and maybe convince them to pitch in and help you out some. How does about $500 a month sound?
Oh, I think that would be plenty for me. Thank you very much. Now, let's get your sister through law school. Carly, can you please let me back in the house? I still don't even understand why you had to throw me out in the first place. Because I have my test in 3 days, don't you get it? How am I supposed to concentrate knowing that you're in the house with a fever? I had no choice but to throw you out. And just what is that supposed to mean? I mean that if I got your cold, then I might have to miss my test. Then I would have wasted all the effort that I've been putting into studying for the past month. That's why, until I'm done with the test, you are not allowed back in, so don't come back until you're better. So then you're really just going to kick me out of the house while I have this high fever? Do you have any idea how cold it is out here? The least you could do is let me pack a bag. You really are a useless woman, do you know that? How dare you not realize that you're only getting in the way of your amazing sister-in-law trying to achieve her dreams? Don't even talk to me. I can't believe that you would get a cold like this just so that you could try and sabotage me. It's like you really want me to fail at everything. Carly, you don't really believe that, do you? Of course I don't want you to fail, but I just got a bit of a cold is all. You really think I'm going to buy an excuse like that? It's not an excuse. I was feeling sick yesterday, and you had no problem talking with me and telling me to go to the store for you. In fact, because it was raining all day yesterday when I went out, I think that's why I'm feeling so sick. Well, it's because I needed you to go out and buy the ingredients for my good luck meal. Ever since I was in high school, I would always eat a lot of foods that start with A so that I would get that grade. But you shoved me out of the house so quickly yesterday that I couldn't even grab an umbrella. By the time I got back, I was completely soaked. But I've been doing my best to stay out of your way and make sure that you have everything you need to study. So I don't get why I'm being kicked out of the house this time. For the last time, you are being kicked out so that this house doesn't become a petri dish and so I don't get sick. Is this really the way that you're thanking me after all that I've done for you? After all the cooking and cleaning and support that I've given you? I can't believe that this is the way that you're paying back the person who let you live in their home free for 6 whole months. Do you have any idea just how much of my own money I've sunk into you, Carly? But I thought it would be okay as long as I was helping you study. Oh, just shut up already, would you? Quit sending me all these sobby, sad texts. If you really wanted to help me pass my test, then you would never have gotten sick in the first place. If you still want to help me, then you can just sit there and shut up. So you really expect me to just sit outside my own house for 3 days with a fever like this? Is this any way for someone who wants to be a lawyer to treat people? Is this the way lawyers treat the people who helped them get to where they are? Oh, don't worry. You'll be getting plenty of gratitude as soon as I'm actually a lawyer. Because once I am, I'll be making millions of dollars. Maybe I'll even kick some back your way for all that you've been doing for me. But if you want that to happen, then you better leave me alone so that I can pass. I don't care about the money, Carly. That was never what this was about. I just thought that you would have a little more gratitude after all this time. Look, you are keeping me from studying. What was the point of kicking you out if you still won't leave me alone? Just go away and don't come back until you're feeling better, got it?
You better watch how you talk to my wife, Carly.
Wait, what? Are you delirious or something? Has your fever gotten that bad?
I want to know just what you think you're doing right now, huh, sis? Because you got some real nerve kicking my wife out of our house after all she's been doing for you. You do realise that the person who's been taking care of you for the past 6 months is sick, right? Or do you just not care?
Wait, sis, your wife, is this Chris? But I thought that you were away on your business trip, right?
I was away, yeah, and now I've come back. I actually requested to come back early so that I could try and make it for you when you took the LSAT. I wanted to let you know that you had more support than you knew.
Wait a second. You mean that you came home early just to cheer me on for my test?
That was the plan, but now that I come to this, I don't know what to think. What I do know is that you have a family member who is sick and you've literally thrown them out of the house. What kind of person does that, huh?
But you don't understand. I'm going to be taking my test in 3 days. I wasn't about to let myself catch a cold from Tiffany. I'm just trying to keep her away until I've safely taken it is all.
If that's what you're worried about, why not just ask Tiffany to stay in her room and rest? This is our house after all. You were the one that showed up here uninvited. In fact, it was Tiffany who finally came around on letting you stay as long as you have.
Well, that's nice of her, but still, it doesn't change the facts.
The facts are that you've been taking advantage of my wife's kindness for your own gain, and now you've gone too far. Who do you think you are, kicking your own host out of their home?
But I didn't have any money to stay anywhere else. What was I supposed to do?
I don't care what you do or where you go. You can go study under a bridge for all I care. Your test is only in 3 days. Surely you're not going to forget all that you've studied if I kick you out now, right?
Kick me out? You wouldn't really do that, right? Not after I've come so close to finally taking the test. The whole reason I came here in the first place.
I don't care about your test at all right now, Carly.
Please, you're scaring me. Why are you acting like this?
Why are you acting like this, Carly? Don't you get how wrong this is? You've let this get way out of hand, and I hope you do fail for all the horrible things you've done up to now. But especially for taking advantage of my wife like this. How dare you use her kindness just to throw her out like this?
Please, I never would have done that if I knew you were going to get so upset. I guess I just lost sight of what was really important. I just didn't want to catch a cold so close to my test is all. You can understand that, right? You can't blame me for that. Hey, Carly, how'd the test end up going for you? I just wanted to let you know that my fever went down and I'm feeling better. The test was horrible. It was the worst that I've ever done, and when I fail, it'll be all your fault. But how can you know that when the test just ended right now? I don't need to wait for the results. I already know that I failed. You've made me waste a whole year of my life. Do you know that? A whole year! And why don't you think you need to wait for the results? What makes you think you didn't pass? Because I couldn't even get in to take the test. I forgot my entrance slip and I didn't have a spare downloaded on my phone. They didn't even let me take the test. You forgot your entrance pass? Well, how did you do that? You know how it happened. When Chris came home, he burst into the house and started yelling at me to pack up my bags and leave. I was so scared and in such a rush that I must have left that pass behind in Chris's office somewhere. That's why this is all your fault. This would have never happened if you hadn't caught that stupid cold. Well, it sounds to me like you're just looking for everyone but yourself to blame for this, but at least you'll always be able to take it again next year. You mean that you'll let me come back to your place to study again next year? No. That is not what I said. I never want you setting foot in my house again, and neither does Chris for that matter. But then how am I supposed to study for the test? Where am I supposed to live? Who's going to cook for me? I think those are all issues that you'll have to figure out yourself. I gave you much more help than you deserved, and you spit it all back in my face. Well, I am certainly not going to make that mistake again. Please, I'm sorry. I won't ever act that way again. I'm so sorry, Tiffany. After that, Carly was unsure of who to turn to and fled back to her parents' house. But since she left, her parents had changed the locks on the door and refused to let her in. Realizing she had no one but herself who she could rely on, Carly found a job and a small, cheap apartment where she could still study to pursue her dream of being the next big pop star. Even though she's already in her late 20s, Carly was inspired by her experience studying for the LSAT. She was sure that she could do anything if she set her mind to it. She even started a few social media pages to try and promote herself, and, well, they're going about as well as you would expect them to. But who knows, maybe one day she'll prove everyone wrong and be the next big thing.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.
I'm ending our marriage plans. Consider our engagement broken off as of today. Got it?
What? What are you suddenly talking about? Tyler, we just came to your family home today to announce our engagement.
That's why I can't wait another minute to end this. Do you understand what you've done?
No, I don't. Everything seemed fine during the meeting.
That's exactly why I'm ending it. Because you embarrassed me during that announcement.
Huh? Did I do something wrong?
Did you think my family wouldn't ask about your background?
They asked normal questions about my life.
Are you kidding? You brazenly revealed your pathetic education in front of my parents. I had no idea you were a high school dropout. Do you have any idea how embarrassing it was to bring someone like you in front of my parents?
Excuse me?
Just remembering their shocked faces, it's still mortifying.
Is that really what you saw? Because your parents seemed understanding when I explained.
Understanding? They were just being polite.
Hold on a minute. So you want to call off the wedding because you don't like my education level? I can't accept that.
What did you say?
I explained the reason for my education level to your parents today. My parents divorced, and when my mom got custody of me, she immediately fell ill. I had to drop out of high school to work and support us, and I've never regretted that decision.
That might be fine for you, but not for me. How dare you deceive me all this time? You're nothing but a fraud.
A fraud?
3 years! We dated for 3 years and you never thought to mention this?
Because it wasn't relevant to who I am now.
I always assumed your education matched mine. I was shocked. You could keep up with conversations with me, a Harvard graduate, and you work at a multinational company making twice my salary. I respected you for being so accomplished. How dare you deceive me?
Deceive you? That's ridiculous. I never once lied about my education. It just never came up in our conversations.
Because you deliberately avoided the topic.
No, you never asked. You just assumed.
Stop making excuses. This is the kind of thing you're supposed to disclose up front. You should have asked. I'm a dropout, but is that okay? Before we started dating.
What? I've never heard of anyone doing that.
That's because you don't understand how things work in proper society.
Proper society? Is that what this is about?
Anyone with half a brain would understand. My family, including me, are all Harvard graduates. We're a well-known, wealthy family that's expanded our inherited business in multiple directions.
So what? Being a dropout isn't something I'm proud of, but I don't deserve to be called pathetic.
What?
Educational background is just past glory. What matters is the present. My current position and status won't crumble because of something like a degree.
Are you stupid? My family needs perfection in both past and present. Any woman who marries into our family must be perfect in every way.
Perfect? Is that how you see yourself?
At least I have the proper credentials.
That's ridiculous.
So that's why I'm breaking up with you. A dropout isn't worthy of our family. Who would want to marry such a classless woman?
Oh well, that's too bad.
Is that all you have to say?
What else is there to say to someone who judges people like this?
Just get out of here.
I'll respect your decision. Take care then. Oh, but what about your things at my place?
What things?
Your clothes, books, that watch you always forget.
Throw away everything of mine that's at your place. I can't touch anything that's been in such a disgusting home ever again.
Sure, whatever you say. Well, goodbye for real this time.
Wait, aren't you going to fight for it this more?
Why would I? You've made your position very clear.
So you're just giving up?
No, I'm accepting your decision. Isn't that what you wanted?
You're supposed to beg and apologize.
For what? Working hard and being successful? Goodbye, Tyler. Thank you for coming to our home today. I'm Tyler's mother, Kate. I wasn't expecting to hear from you. I felt we needed to talk after what happened. Thank you for making time for me. Actually, I have something I need to report. About the broken engagement? Yes, I've already heard about it from my son. How much did he tell you? Everything, including his shameful behavior. I'm sorry if my, background made you uncomfortable, but I'm not going to apologize for who I am. No, please don't apologize for something like that. Education doesn't determine a person's worth or everything about them. What? My husband and I were actually impressed by your strength. But Tyler said, if anything, we should be apologizing for our son. Breaking off an engagement for such a ridiculous reason is truly embarrassing. So, you and his father weren't against the marriage? I thought you both were opposing it. Against it? Quite the opposite. Tyler made it sound like you were horrified. Of course not. My husband and I were actually saying what a wonderful young woman she is. You dropped out of school for your mother, after all, didn't you? Really? When you told us about supporting your ill mother, we were moved by your strength and decisiveness. I thought being a dropout would be unacceptable to your family. Of course not. He introduced us to you, then he suddenly announces he's not getting married, and when we pressed him about why, he says her education isn't worthy of our family. My husband and I were stunned speechless. I'm relieved to know you two didn't hate me. That was my only lingering concern. You know, I should tell you something about Tyler. Yes? Tyler's personality has always been troublesome. He has 3 older sisters, and he's our only son. Maybe that's why he's always had this excessive heir mentality, going on about, I'm the eldest son, I have to protect the family. Has he always been like this? Ever since he got into Harvard, he's been insufferable about status. I see. That's why he was so obsessed with my education and public image. The irony is, we never raised him to be this way. Please trust me. I'm so disappointed in him. It must be difficult for you too. I'm truly sorry about my son's behavior, but I'm sure someone like you will find someone wonderful soon. Please forget about my foolish son and meet someone amazing. You're very kind, Kate. Thank you. Please, there's no reason to thank me. Well, I hope Tyler finds someone suitable for him, too. Though at this rate, I worry about his future. I'm sure he'll figure things out eventually. You're still kind even after how he treated you. Well, 3 years together wasn't all bad. Emma, please don't let this experience make you doubt yourself. Thank you. That means a lot coming from you.
Sorry for the sudden request, but can I come to your place today? I need a place to stay for a while.
Huh? Didn't we break up just the other day?
I know, but please hear me out.
I don't think that's appropriate anymore.
Yeah, but this is an emergency. I just got kicked out of my house. I have nowhere to go. Please let me stay at your place.
Kicked out? But you were so devoted to your family. What happened?
I'd like to know that myself. Just when I thought I'd forgotten to tell them something, they suddenly kicked me out. They said you're not worthy of this family.
What?
They completely blindsided me.
There must be a reason.
I don't know why, but apparently they weren't happy about me breaking off our engagement. They said, your attitude about finding a wife worthy of our family is admirable, but why is your salary lower than your girlfriend's when you have such an impressive degree?
Come to think of it, I did mention my job and salary to your parents. I think I told them that I have an executive position and make $200,000 a year.
Did you have to tell them that?
They asked about my work. Was I supposed to lie?
They said if I'm breaking up with someone for being low class, then I'm even more unworthy of being heir since I'm below that low class. They said someone who can't earn or show common sense isn't worthy of our family, and then they threw me out.
I understand the situation completely, but why come to me for help? Don't you have friends you could stay with?
Your place is the biggest and most comfortable.
Excuse me?
I've always lived at home. Can't stay in my friends' tiny rental apartments.
Are you serious right now?
What's wrong with that?
Of course, Mr. Rich Boy. Every place must look shabby compared to your family mansion.
But your place is the best option. Even though it's a rental, it's pretty spacious, and it kind of feels like my house.
Well, I do live in what people call a luxury high-rise, and I put a lot of thought into the interior design.
See? You understand.
That wasn't a compliment to you.
Anyway, that's why your place is the only one I'll approve of. It's the only place that gets a passing grade.
Who do you think you are, giving out grades? And you dump me, but suddenly want to crash at my place?
Be so cold. We dated for 3 years.
Which you ended because I wasn't good enough, remember?
Of course I won't ask for free. If you let me stay, I'll even get back together with you.
What?
You're basically forced to be dumped. You must be desperate to get back with me. If you let me stay, I'll date you again during that time. Think about it. It's a win-win. I'm heading over now, so be ready to welcome me.
Sorry, but I'm living with my boyfriend.
What?
So please don't come over. I won't welcome you or unlock the building entrance no matter how much you beg.
Hold on a minute. Living with your boyfriend? You mean you already found another guy?
Yes, that's right. After you broke off our engagement, I had a fateful encounter.
What? And you're living together already? Don't you think finding another guy just a week after breaking up is way too fast?
You think so? But isn't moving on quickly important?
But we dated for like 3 years, right? Can you really move on so easily after dating that long?
Didn't you easily dump your girlfriend of 3 years just because I didn't go to high school?
That was different.
How exactly?
Well, that's...
I believe quick transitions are important in both work and private life. There's no point dwelling on the past. Oh, sorry. I guess someone who's still hung up on old academic credentials wouldn't understand that.
Hey, you just insulted me, didn't you?
Well, you kept insulting me as a low-class dropout, too. So let's call it even. Good luck with your apartment hunting.
Wait a minute. What am I supposed to do now when you just tell me good luck? Where do I go?
That's not my problem. If you don't like small rentals, why not just live in a hotel?
What did you say?
I don't know how much rent you can afford, but my ex's finances aren't my concern anymore. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to watch a movie with my boyfriend. Bye-bye.
Don't ignore me. Emma, at least tell me what hotel you recommend. Please, Emma, let me into your place.
How many times do I have to refuse before you get it? You're so persistent.
Just hear me out one more time.
Stop calling and texting. You're making my new boyfriend suspicious.
Is that really such a problem?
Of course it is.
Isn't this the perfect opportunity then? Break up with that guy and get back together with me. Let's live together.
What?
You can't be serious about him anyway.
And why not?
Actually, after that, I gave up and decided to stay at a friend's place. But I just got kicked out of there too. They said I don't want to help someone who just complains about how small everything is.
It's awful of you to trample on your friend's kindness.
Their place was barely bigger than a closet.
You're impossible.
It's your fault, making me all upset by moving on to another guy so quickly.
Wait, how is this my fault?
I got frustrated and ended up taking it out on my friend.
That has absolutely nothing to do with me.
Come on, we both know you're just dating this guy to make me jealous.
I'm really not.
Anyway, I've been kicked out and have nowhere to go, so break up with your boyfriend and let me stay.
Absolutely not.
But...
Weren't you the one who hated low-class dropouts? Why do you want to get back together after dumping me for that?
True, your education level is too low class to be my wife. But I realized something. We just don't have to get married.
What?
While you're not acceptable as a wife, you're barely acceptable as a girlfriend. We'll never get married, but I'll stay with you as your boyfriend.
Are you serious? Do you really think that?
Of course! While you're low class in education, I do give you some credit. It's impressive that a dropout managed to get into a multinational company. And I respect that you have a higher position and salary than me. See? I'm being generous here.
That's not a compliment at all. You rejected everything about me just because of my education when you broke off our engagement.
But if we get back together now, you might get to marry me in the future.
Huh?
Just think about it. This could be your second chance.
Second chance at what exactly?
I can't keep letting you outdo me forever. I'll work hard to get promoted and earn more than you. Then my family will recognize me and make me the heir. When that happens, I'll tell my parents dramatically how you supported me, and they might approve of our marriage.
Stop this ridiculous fantasy! You're being ridiculous, Tyler. Do you really think Emma would fall for a trap like that? We never opposed the marriage in the first place. Don't you dare pin this on your father and I.
Huh?
Did you really think you could manipulate her like this?
Mom! Why are you messaging with Emma's phone?
Emma sent us an SOS because your attempts to get back together were becoming too much. She said you were bothering her, so your father and I came directly to her place to apologize.
What? Dad's there too?
That's right. We're all here watching your pathetic attempts to get her back.
This has nothing to do with you.
And then your message about getting back together came in, so we quietly watched to see what you'd say.
But wait, you saw our whole conversation?
Every single message.
You had no right to read those.
I'm so embarrassed, sad, and angry I can't contain myself. We explained this to you too. We never cared about her education, but you went ahead and broke off the engagement on your own, saying, I understand what's best for this family.
But our whole family graduated from Harvard, so obviously a dropout isn't suitable as my wife, even if she's somewhat smart.
Somewhat smart? She's more successful than you.
That's temporary.
If you're going to say that, what about our family's ancestors? Your great-grandparents, who laid the foundation for our wealth, were basically high school dropouts right after World War II. They built this business from nothing and created our fortune. Insulting dropouts means insulting our ancestors. Neither your father nor I can forgive that.
That was a different time.
Different how?
Well, that's...
Can't answer, can you?
But times have changed.
We thought kicking you out would make you reflect, but it was completely useless. I've made up my mind. Your father and I are cutting ties with you.
What?
I don't want to hand over the assets from our ancestors to such a foolish son. So from today, you're disowned. We'll make sure you inherit as little as possible.
No, can't be. I'm your only son.
Being our only son doesn't excuse your behavior.
You can't do this to me.
Yes, even though you're such a fool, you're still the son we raised with care. So for the severance, shall we give you about $100,000?
You give me that much? I could rent a nice place with that.
Don't get excited yet. First, you need to show remorse to the person you've troubled so much. So, I'll be giving this severance money to Emma.
What?
It seems she's decided to marry the person she's dating now, so it can be a wedding gift.
What? Wedding gift? She's already marrying that new boyfriend?
What amazing speed in moving on and taking action. As a woman, I really admire her.
What are you saying? She's a disrespectful woman who rejected your son's attempt to get back together. You're going to give $100,000 to someone like that?
$100,000? For our wealthy family, that amount is trivial now. We won't miss it. And if it serves as an apology for my foolish son, it's a bargain. Or can you make an equivalent apology to Emma?
Equivalent? That's... I don't have that kind of money.
If you can't, then keep your mouth shut until you can give Emma a proper apology. And don't ever come back to our house. Both your father and I are serious about cutting ties. We'll explain everything to your sisters, too.
Emma? Are you really going to marry someone other than me?
Yeah, actually, we're already married.
What?
We submitted the marriage registration first thing this morning.
It can't be true.
It is.
You can't be serious about him.
I am.
No, that can't be. How can you be happy while I'm all alone after losing my family? That's not fair.
Your choices led you here, Tyler.
But I didn't think it would end up like this.
Even if you say that, maybe you should try finding someone who's compatible with you. Then you won't be sad and lonely anymore.
Who would be compatible with someone like me who's been disowned? Where would I find them? Please, Emma, stay with me. You're all I have left.
Well, I have plenty of people besides you.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means I've moved on.
Huh?
So I'm going to have to block you now. I can't deal with this anymore.
You wouldn't dare.
Besides, my beloved husband gets jealous and says he doesn't want to see me chatting with other men so often for no good reason. I don't want to talk to you either, so I'm blocking you since you're neither a friend nor a colleague.
Wait, please, anything but that. Please don't block me. Emma, answer me. What? Oh wait, did you really block me? Please, don't abandon me. Just one more message. Please. Never thought this would happen. I never imagined I'd end up alone.
After that, I heard Tyler kept begging his parents to take back their decision to cut ties. However, his parents remained firm in their refusal, and all his older sisters took over the company together. Apparently, while Tyler was always focused on being the heir, he never actually studied or prepared for it, and his parents never intended to hand the company over to him in the first place. After that, Tyler lost both his friends and his status as the president's son, and now lives a quiet, lonely life by himself.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.